Welcome back to Let's Play Mighty Switch Force 2. Before we hop into this episode all proper-like, there are a few things I want to go over. The main thing being that I'm going to be hopping over to my main save file for a little bit. The reason for this being that after this game is completed, there are a few things that are unlocked. But it's not enough that actually warrants me doing a completely different bonus episode. There's also not a lot of information that I can give you on this game, so I can't fill the bonus video with information like that. So I don't want to upload like a 2-3 minute at most bonus video showing off content that unlocked after the game. So I'm just going to be showing it off right here on my main save. Now that we're on my main account, you'll notice that on the side there's more than just a button that allows you to delete your save data. There's also a button that allows me to change from normal Patricia Wagon to Gym Clothes Patricia Wagon, which is something you unlock after you complete the game. And it also allows you to switch from a normal hose to a super hose, is I believe what it's called. I'm going to be showing both of these off in Incident .03 because I think it is the most adequate level to show this in. Because with the super hose, there's a lot you could do that you couldn't do before. First and foremost, put out fires faster. Second, and probably more importantly, burn wood. Is the water scalding hot enough to the point where it just burns the wood instantaneously? But how would it put out? I don't know. It's weird. It's a really weird concept. And while it does make a lot of levels much easier, like this one right here, that I can essentially skip the entirety of the all of the really cool puzzles and mechanics that were shown off in this level. While I can skip all of them, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It shouldn't really work like that. Water, I mean, I guess water could be hot enough to set fire to wood, possibly. But I can also spray the Hooligan Sisters with this hose, and they're just fine. So it's a little bit of a, you know, is this really scalding water? Because if it was hot enough to burn wood, it should be hot enough to melt the faces off of these people that I'm spraying with water, but they seem to be just fine. I don't know. It's a very odd situation. But there's also something else that I meant to show off, which I was too good at the game to do it. So let's hop into Incident 1 and I'll show it. At the end of this game, something is shown off that I'm probably not going to talk about when it is shown off, so I'm going to talk about it here. Patricia Wagon is actually not a human being. Despite what you may think based upon her visual physique, she's actually a cyborg. So if I do this, do it one more time, and a third time for good measure, when I die, instead of going into my gym clothes and dying, there we go. I'll turn into a cyborg and then just explode into little bits. It's a really unnecessary change, but it's really cool, and I like it a lot. It's very cool. It's very cool of them to do that, to make such a small change, you know, such a minor detail that would probably take a lot of work, and they did it anyway. It's really cool. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Those are the two things that unlock after you complete the game. You can only use this hose on levels that you have completed, obviously, because you're going to have to complete all of them to beat the game. But this is something important to note, especially if you are playing the first game, where there are two very similar things unlocked after you complete the main campaign, because there were DLC levels in the first game, and you could only use the Super Shot, which was, I think, what it was called in Mighty Switch Force 1, though I'm just kind of making that up off the top of my head. You could only use that in levels you had completed, and you could complete the entire game, quote-unquote, the entire game, and you wouldn't have necessarily beaten all the levels. So there were some levels you couldn't use a Super Shot on, even though you had completed the game. I don't know what this is really unnecessary information for the second game, but I still wanted to mention it anyway. But enough of that. Back to the normal save. And now that you're back from that content, let's hop right in Incident .15, which is something that I've actually been meaning to talk about. I just haven't actually remembered to do so. I don't know why they do this, but the incidents are actually named after, like, .15, .01 instead of just being Incident 15, Incident 1. It's kind of an odd choice. I don't see why they did it other than, like, I guess, to make it all quirky and interesting. I'm really not sure. It seems like a very unnecessary choice, but they did it anyway, so hey, who am I to judge? Now, we have a completely new enemy, because again, they don't stop coming up with new mechanics and showing off new mechanics until the very end of this game. That's not a joke. I'm not joking about that whatsoever. We have one level to do after this, and they introduce new mechanics in that level. We are not going to stop explaining new mechanics, or at least I am not, until the very end of this game, until this playthrough is over with. But more importantly, we have these new enemies called Golden Rexes, or at least that's what I'm calling them. And they shoot one fireball at first, and then they shoot 3. They kind of go through a weird little phase-like thing where I'll show you. So he just shot 3 there, so now he only shoots 1. But now that he shot 1, he's going to shoot 3. It's that kind of pattern. It's a little bit weird. I don't necessarily know why they went for that. Maybe to throw people off that didn't know that he was going to shoot 1 instead of 3. Maybe they're being mean, who knows? But yeah, it's not that big of a deal. They really aren't too hard to deal with. And a lot of the time you aren't really going to want to kill them because they actually help you get through the level. As you just saw, the entire mechanic of this level is switching blocks into the background of the foreground to make sure that the Golden Rex's fireballs hit where they need to hit so that the wooden blocks will disappear. It's a pretty simple mechanic, but I think the timing gets kind of interesting, and it's a cool, neat little puzzle-esque thing, and I really like it a lot. It can get a little bit challenging. It can make platforming a little bit weird, like right there. You want to make sure that you know that guy's pattern perfectly, lest you jump and mess things up real good. Actually, hold on, let me see. This was a bad idea. This guy seems like he's going to be kind of annoying to deal with. Maybe like this. I don't know. This guy is kind of on a strange platform. Maybe. Okay, nope, not like that. Definitely not like that. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, there we go. He's gone. That was scaring me a little bit. I don't want to die in this level. It's probably going to happen anyway, but I'm hoping I can avoid it at all costs. So right here is a perfect way to show off, yes, this mechanic is a thing. It's really cool. And this is kind of the part where it gets a little bit more tricky. I think this is kind of the most in-depth place it's used. Because also after that, we have to make sure that we... Wait a second. Pause. First of all, what I was going to say is we have to make sure that we can make it from the left to the right, all the way over to that hooligan sister, while avoiding his fireballs. But I also just realized that green block that shots can go through. Have I never explained that? I mean, it's not a big deal. It's been being used this entire time, and people seem to understand it just fine. But if I've never explained that, that's kind of a bad thing. I thought I was doing a pretty good job not missing any mechanics, but I think I'm just kind of an idiot. And I actually did miss quite a few mechanics. I don't know. If there's anything else I missed, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, yeah, kind of another important thing I completely forgot to mention. The fact that this level, specifically, has an insanely interesting art style. This is something you don't see throughout the rest of the game. The final level doesn't have this art style. It's strictly this one level. No other area has this. I don't even think this this concept is in Mighty Switch Force 1. And I'm gonna be honest, that kind of sucks. I'm really sad that this really cool take on a city is just thrown out the window after one use. It's really dumb. And I love, again, this idea. I just wish it was used more. And I guess, you know, that's kind of something that shows the making of a good idea. You know, I like the idea, I just wish it was used more. That is kind of a positive thing inherently. But, I don't know, I feel like if they were going to go through the effort to make this visual style, they could have done more with it. They didn't just have to use it in this one miscellaneous level. And I guess that makes it feel special, but I don't know. I don't see it to be like a big thing. And maybe I'm just cynical. Maybe I'm just being a little bit of a negative boy, which is totally possible. But I wish it was used more. That's all I'm trying to say. It makes me sad that it wasn't. I also like the fact that everything is kind of see-through. The spikes are see-through. It's just really neat stuff. I like it a lot. Was there any point to that bat being there? I really don't see it. Oh, sorry, I called him Greenie. My bad. Is there any point to that Greenie being there? I don't see it if there is. It just seems like he's there for the sake of being there? I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's much of a point, but who knows? I am no game designer. Alright, we are back to where I was before. I got through that platforming challenge without a hitch. I have all 3 of my life, so I should be perfectly fine. But yeah, that is pretty much the entirety of this level. The only thing left is the ugly secret baby, which you get at the very end of the level. This part I don't remember being super difficult, so I should be fine. Yeah, this looks pretty easy. I think that's the ugly secret baby, and then I'm done, right? Yeah. That was actually a really, really kind level, I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't too bad. The platforming challenges were interesting while not being super tough. It only took me 3 minutes and 27 seconds on my second try through. Second run through. That's probably a better way of wording that. Whatever. Who cares? But the last incident. Incident 16. The mechanic we've gotten used to over all this time of switching the blocks back into the foreground and the background and all that is now taken away from us and is put on a timer. You'll see that my head lamp thing shines 3 times before the blocks switch. Keep this in mind. I think I messed this up, actually. I totally messed this up. I'm restarting. Let's try this one more time. The ugly secret baby is in the very beginning of the level. That makes it really, really, really easy for you to get him, even if you mess up something, because all you have to do is start over again. It's not a big deal. So thank God. Because I sure know I'd get through a lot of this level, which actually does take quite a while, by the way, because of the fact that this mechanic we've had for a long time is taken away from us and kind of put on a timer. But yeah, this gets a little bit long. So that's how you get the ugly secret baby. It's actually pretty easy. Moving on. Again, this mechanic that we've had this entire time is taken away from us. And now we have to make sure that we are platforming on a timer. We wait for the third thing, then we just, I don't know, there we press the jump button. I don't know what I'm trying to say. The point is, it makes certain puzzles and certain platforming challenges significantly different and a lot more interesting. Because before, this would be something that was a no-brainer. It'd be really easy. It would not be a big deal. But as you can see, I'm having to get used to the timing all over again. Because now I can't just press the button last second like I'm used to. Now I actually have to worry about the fact that, first of all, I'm an idiot and I could totally, like, just mistime everything there. But I also have to worry about the fact that I could jump a little bit too early, get my feet clipped into the box that's appearing that I don't have control over. It's a very interesting concept, and I think giving us this thing that we are so used to having, and then taking it away, it is a good way to do challenge. Especially when it's in a game like this, where a majority of the challenge comes from platforming, puzzling, using this one mechanic, being able to alter this mechanic, and now it's just taken away from you. You can't alter this mechanic anymore. It's something that the game alters for you. It's really neat. I like this concept a lot, and I'm really glad they went through with this. I believe that in the first game this was used a little bit more, quote-unquote, believe. I really don't remember all that much. Actually, no, I think this was used for the final level in the first game as well, and that's it. But yeah, I think as a final level, this, in and of itself, is a cool concept, and is also very challenging. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I think I've gotten the timing down a little bit. I just need to make sure that I 100% don't do something like that, first of all, and also have it down. This part shouldn't be too difficult. Once I get used to the timing, it really won't be a big deal. But just keep in mind, it can be a little bit tricky. Whew, that was close. There we go. Alright. This part isn't too bad. It's really not too bad at all. A lot of this is just kind of showing you how this mechanic works. It kind of acts as a tutorial while still being difficult, because I am getting kind of clapped right about now, but it's still not too hard. Not too hard at all. So, pretty much, this isn't really a level based around puzzle solving. It's more based around timing, and on very, very small occasions, solving a puzzle that would usually be easy, but has now become very, very difficult. I'd also like to mention the fact that I kind of just went through a teleporter, which is also a new thing. You go through those teleporters not by standing on them, but actually by, can you get a little bit closer so I can make this a little bit easier? Thank you. But you actually go through those teleporters by waiting on them until you forcefully switch. And it's fine, I guess, but I don't know why they added that extra step. It just kind of seems unnecessary to me. It's not like a big deal. I don't care at all. It's just kind of a time waster, and I don't see why they did that. But here we are solving a single puzzle before we actually continue on and get back into the platforming challenges. It's really not that bad. To my knowledge, it's just making all of these be on the same plane. Waiting down here for the green platform to be on the plane that we can stand on, and then we can just push this into the front plane. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm a little bit tired. I've been recording for a while about things that aren't this game, because I've been helping a few people out, doing stuff in my free time that doesn't pertain to my channel, which kind of sucks. But I've been having a lot of fun, and I think that's really all that matters. More importantly, these challenges aren't super duper ultra hard, nor are they really all that interesting. I just think the thing that makes them feel new and have some amount of nuance is the fact that you are now on this timer that you've never had to think about before, and now you're forced to feel the pressure of it. It's pretty cool. And I think it's kind of, again, a logical extreme to making difficulty for this game. It's nice. I like it a lot. I think this should work out just fine. We have to get the charcoal boy to a place all the way over here. I should be able to make this work, right? Let me actually check. I want the red and the blue to be on the same plane. I do not want the red and the green to be on the same plane, which is why I'm going to make the red... Wait. That was dumb move. Dumb play. That's a little bit smarter. Good job, me. You got it eventually, and that's all that matters. But something I want to mention. It's not necessarily super prevalent here, but later on in this level, I get really scared about hitboxes, like insanely scared, and you'll see what I mean. But I'm being very cautious right now, because I do not want to get caught up in a bad hitbox situation. So I want to be as careful as humanly possible. I also don't want this to happen. That was a little bit iffy. That was also really dumb of me, but that's fine, because we have some health right here. They litter health throughout this level. But this is where hitboxes start to get a little bit tricky. You want to, as fast as humanly possible, get to the launch block so you do not get crushed, and you also want to make sure that you don't get crushed in between that. This is... Okay, wait. That... I survived. That's all that matters. That was one of the dumbest decisions I've ever made in my entire life. But you know what? I made it. I'm still here. I'm still living. That's fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, hitboxes can get quite tricky here. Quite tricky. I wasn't sure if that timing was right or not. I have to jump right before the platform goes. There we go. Yeah, okay. We're good. I wasn't sure if I made the right play there, but I did. Thank God. And now, there's been a bit of an aesthetic change. The reason for that being that we're nearing the end. It's time to finish up this game. Welcome to the final boss. Big Eye Boy is what I'm gonna call him. Cyclops Man? I don't know. So you might have noticed that we have not been getting Hooligan Sisters this entire level. The reason for that being is this guy just swallowed them. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Somehow he swallowed the Hooligan Sisters, even though we have saved them previously. So that's where they have been in this entire level. This guy can get a little bit challenging. The reason for that being, first of all, I'm bad at this game. The other reason for that being that he shoots fireballs out of his mouth. And fun fact, we're kind of a firefighter, we're meant to put them out. Depending on the fireball he shoots, these ones are always on the bottom. They always change the direction that these, or change where these platforms are. And the other fireballs that he shoots actually put me to sleep under the earth. But they also put fire onto the ground. This means that while you are dodging his fireballs, you have to make sure that you are also avoiding and putting out the fires that are on the ground to make it so that you can more easily platform over the bigger fireballs that he shoots. It can get kind of crazy. You just want to make sure that you are shooting him in the eye. That is the best thing you can do, because it does damage to him. This is the only boss fight in this entire game, the final one, and it's pretty cool. It actually is quite challenging. So I'd recommend being prepared for this. As you saw, I already died, but luckily, it does allow you to start from the boss itself, not actually from, like, the very beginning of the level, because the level itself is kind of long, actually. As you can see, it's taken me around 6 minutes to get here, so it takes a while. And if I had to replay the entire level, it would be kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But this boss is really, really cool. I like him a lot. I think visually it's amazing. I love the design choices they went for with this game. Okay, this is fine. This is fair. Alright, okay. Luckily, he shoots fireballs that we can jump over. But especially when you're trying to put out the fire so that you can get up and shoot his eye, it gets a little bit tricky trying to avoid the fireballs and shoot at the same time. To my knowledge, you can't put out the fireballs that are coming at you with your water, but only one way to find out about that, I guess. Nope, you cannot. I've just tried. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. Luckily, the fire that you do put out gives you health. If it didn't, I would be dead by now. So, put out as much fire as you possibly can. See if you can get health. Health? Because it is quite important. This boss can get kind of hectic. Not gonna lie. That should be good. It's gonna put fire down right there, I assume. Yes. That is a really big piece of fire. I'm going to ignore it for now. I kind of want to get rid of him first, and then I can take out that fire. Not like it's going to matter. Actually, no, it doesn't matter, because I want to get up to this top platform, which, by the way, since this one's made out of metal, it cannot be altered no matter what. The more malleable platforms, if that makes any sense, are the ones that are made out of stone, so be careful there. I want to get rid of this so I can actually get his eye. The fire was kind of blocking me there. No. Oh, I'm so dumb. I was almost there. One more hit, he would have been gone. So, the pseudo health bar you have for this boss is actually the amount of Hooligan Sisters you have. So, that's the way you're meant to deal with this guy. Figure out exactly how many Hooligan Sisters you have. It'll be on the top screen. Not too hard. That's kind of the easiest part of the fight. And once you have all the Hooligan Sisters, one more cycle and he'll be done. So, it's really simple. I was just being really dumb. So, I'll cut until I get to near the end of the final boss again. Well, that was easy. First phase is extremely easy. I wonder. Hold on. Let me try something. Nope. Okay, he's completely invincible in that phase. I thought that when his eye turned normal for like 5 seconds, I would be able to actually do something against him. But the answer is no. I still can't do jack diddly squat against him. So, my idea failed. Alright, final phase. I have 2 health. I should be able to get this done. We'll see. We shall see. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, okay. I have 1 health. This is fine. This is fine. I can make this. I can do this. I can do this. Make it or break it situation right here. I think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it. I made it. And that's it. That's the final boss of Mighty Switch Force 2. With that, this entire game has been completed in 5 episodes, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. That final boss, I think, is really well designed. I wish there were more bosses in this game, because that one was a lot of fun. And it was quite challenging, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that in a final boss. But, there we have it. Mighty Switch Force 2 is done. It's out of the way. And let me talk about a few things about this series that I've kind of had in mind this whole time, and I just haven't actually had a lot of time to say. First of all, this game is fun. I love it. Even though it's really, really short, it's still a lot of fun to play through, and I'd recommend picking it up if you have the chance. I think it's around $6 on the eShop, though I'm not quite sure about that. You can buy it on the 3DS, on the Wii U. Either or is perfectly fine. They are the exact same game, and they are both quite fun. So, I'd really recommend it. I'd also recommend picking up the first game. Can't say much about Mighty Switch Force Academy, but both the first and second game in this series are quite solid. Now, this series was kind of meant to be just kind of a chill series. I wanted to do something fun, something that wouldn't take too long, just so I could kind of cool down after finishing a series that did take a little while. And I'm definitely probably not going to do a series that's this short ever again. This was just kind of because I loved this game enough to the point where I wanted to do it, and I also was, I was interested in trying out a few different things to hopefully better my content, and doing a short game for something like that, I thought it was a perfect idea. So those were a lot of the main reasons I picked this series, and in the background I've been working on a few things. I have a few ideas for series. I have one series that I know is coming up next. But whether or not that actually comes out on the channel soon is still up for debate. I am very, very interested and doing some things in between. I think messing around with the basics of what your content is kind of fun. So I do a lot of single player playthroughs, but I want to see if I can change up this base idea I have for what a Let's Play needs to be a little bit, and to see if I can expand out my content a little bit. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. I said bit a lot, but hey, whatever. Now, usually during credit sequences I get really sappy, but this took 5 episodes. It took a little over a week to complete this series, and while I do love this series and while I thought it was a lot of fun to do, I can't really get sappy about something I've been doing for less than a month. So, thanks for watching. Next time, let's just do a little bit of a trip back in time for me. A game that I've been playing since childhood and I still love to this day. But that's for next time. Until then.